Happy New Year. It's January 3rd. I'm calling these last few weeks going into mid-February the final shed because it's the last few weeks of the year of the snake. And if you know anything about when a snake comes to the end of the shedding of their skin, they do go through something called the blue phase. It stops being able to see. The snake becomes very still. It protects itself because any unnecessary friction and prematurely have the skin start shedding, not have the same results as if you are still and reverent to the process. That very much feels like what I am currently going through. I'm filming this because I am actually talking to you. Not you, who I'm used to talking to. You, me, my reflection, my own gaze. I decided to do the artist's way for the first 12 weeks of the year. I felt like it was a good way for me to do something outside of myself while the metamorphosis continues to complete itself. The first few pages are about creative blocks. I've never really felt blocked creatively. Part of my frustration has always been that I see things so clearly, but I don't know exactly how I'm supposed to share them in order to help you. And now I'm aware that I'm talking to myself. Over the last little while, I've realized that anytime life has gotten really hard, and the last 2 years have been by far the hardest years of my entire life, I've ran away from home. It's my favorite thing to do. It's a very underused coping mechanism. I would find myself alone somewhere, usually in Paris, because there's so much art. Even walking through the streets, I feel like I'm feeding something. Spending time all by myself, I don't have any noise around me, allows me to be able to recalibrate my vision. I've always known what I was here to do. I feel very lucky for that. I feel like I was put on this earth to help people with their skin. And it's something that I've obsessed over since I was like 12 years old. At almost 46 in a few months, it really has been my life's work. I've really, truly loved giving skin treatments. It's something that I haven't been able to do as much as I used to. And the reason for that is because I also own and operate a rather large business in the studio. Its biggest, we had over 50 employees, which is a lot of people. When I take something on like that, I take it very seriously, and the responsibility of everyone on the team is mine. I've been building the studio now for almost 14 years. It would have been 14 years in a few weeks. Just a few weeks ago, I realized that I wasn't the right person at the helm of the studio any longer. And I realized that because I was reading a book on branding. And in the book, very simply, it said that your business is not what you think it is, you, me. It's what other people think it is. The business that I've always envisioned, my dream business, is this becomes almost like a portal that you come into and you're able to actually look in the mirror and recognize your own gaze, recognize yourself. As the years have gone on, I've felt like this is more and more and more important to do. However, I work with incredible individuals and they all have their own idea of what they believe that they are here to do. It occurred to me recently that what the studio has become is a beautiful thing. I believe that some of the best practitioners in Toronto, hairstylists, makeup artists, estheticians, work at the studio. And you can come in and get an unbelievable haircut with Brennan, or an amazing facial with Sarah, But my vision for what I wanted to build was a lot more collaborative. The team would work more together than I was able to achieve. And therefore, a few weeks ago, I realized that I was ready to step down from the studio and allow somebody else to take the driver's seat, take the helm with so much love. You know, this year, my best friend and business partner in the studio did unexpectedly pass away. So I know that it comes from more than one place. With so much love, I decided that I was ready to, instead of own the studio and operate the studio, become a team member, become an employee. I believe that everything happens for a reason, and I believe that the right thing is on the path of least resistance. Think of this like spiraling, this flow. We're obviously all made of energy, and so we're either spiraling up or spiraling down. And it's felt so much like I've been fighting against a current. 100% trust the process, I always have. And I was having a beautiful conversation with an incredible girl. Her name is Lex, and she has an amazing Canadian brand. I presented the opportunity to her. Almost instantly, I knew that she was the right person to take over, and I could pass the baton to her, and she would do amazing things with her vision. What she's calling the studio, it's going to be called Araya House. And she wanted to keep all of the staff, the business intact, which was really important to me, and something I think would have been extremely important to Laura. So it felt good to be able to do that. And as of a few days ago, I no longer own the studio. Lex does. He's going to announce it, and I'm sure I'm going to get a million questions. So this feels good to have like a kind of a keep it real, honest and intimate conversation around it and what's next for me, which is just time to completely devote to what it is that I'm here to do. And that is to make you the happiest version of yourself with the most beautiful skin you could possibly have. This journey, the culmination of which is right now, did start 2 years ago. And I ran away from home. I ran away to Paris. I needed to find myself again. I needed to regain my vision. I felt like I was drowning, which is such a gift because the way is the struggle. Like that, I know that. It's so annoying that is a necessary pause in order for me to come back to myself, look back into my eyes in the mirror, ask myself what it is I am actually feeling. Oh man, losing my best friend and my business partner forced me to participate with a specific emotion that I was not familiar with. And I tell myself that you're exactly where you need to be at all times. That works for me. It doesn't necessarily work for everyone. Is whenever I don't know what I need to do, just that recognition of knowing that you're exactly where you need to be. And then it feels like I can like make it to the next breath. But it's not the whole path coming into view right away, but it doesn't need to be either. Because I know that being in that moment and experiencing it and like giving reverence to what that is showing me or needs to show me, the point is not to have any answers. The point is simply to recognize where you are. I am exactly where I need to be at this very moment. That's all this moment is asking me to do. The first few pages of The Artist's Way, the author talks about how she would often receive marching orders. I don't get marching orders. Mine is more like a dance. If you've ever watched a flower sped up, you know, it comes up in a spiral. Sometimes I can't hear the music, but other times I can. That's what it feels like. That's what the flow feels like for me. I've always struggled with how to share anything intimate. I'm a real flower child, quite literally. When you come and get a facial from me, I know exactly what to ask you and how to have that time be focused on your own irrigation. That's never really worked through a screen unless I'm like selling something to you, which is really, not the point. So this is me just going on a little journey for the next few weeks. I don't know what I'm about to find, but I absolutely do know that I'm so ready. The next few days are going to be about clean out my closet, clean out the fridge, throw out anything that's almost empty, old energy that's cluttering my life. I love you.